Howdy folks, Deathslinger here with Mystery Monday, an episode where I do a quick playthrough of games I've never played before, sometimes new, sometimes old. And today I'm here with Endzone, A World Apart. So this is pretty much a blind playthrough. I don't know much about this. All that I know is that it's a city builder set in a post-apocalyptic type setting, which I love post-apocalyptic settings. You know, the Fallout series is probably one of my favorite series. And so yeah, I'm kind of excited to do this, but I don't have much experience with a lot of city builders. They're usually not my type of game. So I guess this will be a learning experience for everyone, I guess. So yeah, let's start up a new game. Tutorial, survival mode, and scenarios. Okay, so it looks like scenarios. Looks like that's like a sort of challenge mode, I suppose. It says choose a variety of challenging scenarios that specify different goals. Okay, that makes sense. We have survival mode. In survival mode, you can configure your game according to your own needs. There are no predefined conditions to win. Create a huge settlement or fight against a challenging environment. Anything's possible as long as you survive. So that's more of a sandbox option, which that might be something I'd be interested in if I decide to do a regular playthrough of this game. And we have tutorial. Play either an interrelated tutorial that teaches you all the important aspects of the game, or become familiar with certain parts of the game in brief segments. Probably gotta do tutorial first, since I don't exactly know all the controls and mechanics. Main tutorial. A longer interrelated tutorial that... Why does that... I'm tired. That includes all important aspects of the game. Follow Arthur Sachin's instructions and obtain important clues and useful information to survive in the merciless world of Endzone, A World Apart. Achievements can be unlocked that relate to tutorials. Alright. So I guess these are different tutorials you start through. So okay, so I guess these are like different levels then, that have a specific tutorial path in mind. Well, let's just start with the main one. If that's the case, we might not need to play through all of them. Let's see how it goes.
We finally left the end zone. Just look at this beautiful scenery. It's marvelous, even though it's a bit different from what we had pictured. We were able to secure a few basic resources and are storing them in our bus. I'm glad we prepared ourselves well for this kind of scenario, especially since our inventories in the end zone ran low. Don't forget that if you need additional information, you can look at our survival guide at any time.
Alright, so Survival 101, Open Survival Guide. Well, let's take a look around here real quick. Looks like we got lots of trees here. And we've got a trailer here with looks like a group of our survivors. Click on them. And it looks like they have their own name there. And it says there is a child, young adult. Okay, so the age, activity info. Alright, so is this their specialties? Well, I guess I should probably go through the tutorial. Okay, let's open the survival guide. Tasks can be used to assign freely available settlers to gather specific resources or remove radiation in a certain area. Only settlers who do not carry out any activity will perform such tasks. The only exception to this is the task remove radiation. Up to 4 settlers can work on a single task. Gather wood. Settlers begin gathering wood from trees located in the active working area. Gather scrap. Settlers begin by collecting scrap from scrap piles located within the active working area. However, they cannot collect any scrap from large ruins. To have them do this, they must be assigned as scrap collectors. which I can see. Okay. Remove radiation. Settlers begin to remove radiation pollution by digging up the soil. Unlike other tasks, here you don't need any freely available settlers. All settlers who have nothing to do at the moment, even those who have a workspace, will help dig. Cancel or remove radiation. Okay.
Well done. Everything you need to know should be right here. I think the time has come for us to at last build ourselves a new home here.
Looking like an old Rick Grimes.
Before we can construct buildings at all, we have to assign the profession builder to several settlers so that they can take care of construction contracts. In general, it's your responsibility to decide which tasks are important and how our settlers are supposed to be distributed to attend to them.
Alrighty. So professionals. Assign settlers to profession builder. So let's see. There's building and tasks. These are professionals here, so builder. We assign 3.
All right. Your builders will be ready as soon as construction contracts have been issued. It's time to start focusing on our key and most basic need, water. The first thing we ought to do is to establish a working water supply. So we'll move on to our first construction contract. Place and build a jetty by a lake in the vicinity of your town center.
Looks like we got a herd of stag moving through here, so we'll probably need to assign hunters later to get them for food. Okay. Jetty. So let's see. How would this work? Jetty settlers requires a cistern or a water tower to store the collected water. Can only be built on the water side. Okay, so so entrances, blocking areas. Okay, let's rotate this. Ah, there you go. I was wondering. Okay, so jetty built. We should have our builders move towards that area. I assume these are the 3 builders getting their tools. Maybe. Raquel. Settler badges. Settlers who age and become old adults are awarded a badge for the profession in which they worked for the longest. Okay. And he said that the builders would automatically start building whatever's queued up, correct? Or current and maximum number of workers. Ah, I see. We see the workers here with the lines. So I wonder, looks like we can up the game speed here, speed things along.
Very
that was
good.
fast.
The jetty was completed as planned. Now we have a place where we can collect water. There are other possibilities to gather water too, but the jetty is the simplest and most cost-effective method.
Good, good.
We can obtain and store water from different sources, like a jetty, rain collector, or well in the cistern. The cistern should always be in close proximity to a water source, so that our water carriers don't have to walk too far.
Alright. Cistern built. The green's the entrance, so we probably want it to The music's very interesting. Alright. Hopefully that's a good place. It's close by anyways. Alright. Very interested to see all the kinds of buildings they have here. Yeah, RTSs and city builders are definitely not my forte. Alright, let's speed things along. Ooh, look at that. Alright, no workers here. And it says, assign settlers to profession water carrier. Okay. Water carrier, 1, 2, 3. And it looks like is it raining? No. Wait. Yeah, I think it is. It's kind of weird. You see, that looks funny. Okay, what's next? Water produced. Okay, so we just need to wait for them to start getting the water. Look at them go. They wearing some kind of radiation suit, looks like. Or no. Nah, it's just their clothes.
Great. We have now installed a working water supply, and water is now transported from the jetty to our cistern. Consider hiring more water carriers if you don't have enough settlers available. You can never have enough water in storage.
Understood.
Now we should focus on food production. It's important to ensure the supply right from the start. A gatherer's cabin, a hunting lodge, or a fishing hut can directly remedy the situation. I suggest starting with a fishing hut, since we're already located near a lake.
Makes sense, but we saw a lot of animals around here earlier, so Hunter's Lodge later on definitely is a must. Let's go with the fishing hut for now. Let's put it right here. Yeah. Alright, cool. Assign some settlers. Oh, there's the stag again. It's like they want to be eaten. They're not scared at all.
Good work. We've now taken care of our basic supply via food and water. Make sure that you have enough food and water on hand at all times, especially if you want to upgrade your settlement. A population that grows too fast can quickly unbalance your food and water supply, bringing major difficulties for you if you don't watch out. Crops are another excellent way of getting food, because they constantly grow as long as the soil is moist enough. Each seed has different yields and growing times. This means that it could take some time until your field is ready to be harvested, in contrast to your fishing hut, where production can be right away.
Okay. Alright, I guess the green is where all the moist soil is. So yeah, moist, dry, dried out, wet. Interesting. Alright, let's get on that farm then. Ah, so it's a tile, kind of like a tile grid. See, our main thing's right there, so let's not make it too big on the first blocking areas. Okay, the area is blocked, I guess. Ah, okay. Well, then maybe I have to make it. It's 10 by 10. It's pretty good size, I suppose. Okay, let's 10 by 10. Let's try to make this at least a little bit even here. Why do I always mess that up? Whatever. Probably don't even need to at the moment right now anyway, since we have the fishing hut. Let's see. We need to assign some farmers. One farmer. Okay. It's a pretty big field for one person. Drought. That's not good. Let's oh. That's not good. So I wonder if that means we can't farm anything at the moment. Or we have to wait till the drought's over. Maybe. Well, let's see what else they have here. Scrap catcher. Housing. Sturdy house, shelter, upgraded shelter. Pub. It's definitely the most important building, I'd say. Campfire. What do we need for a campfire? So, scrap pile. And let's see. I wonder if I can automatically assign people to just start gathering resources if they're already doing that. Hunter, builder. Build additional houses or shelters. Okay. Seeds from. Oh my gosh! So the whole time it was just waiting for me to choose what type. Oh man. Sometimes I don't. Okay, let's. Okay, because we can't do that. We're going with black salsify.
Looks good. Remember that we need the widest variety of food sources to stay healthy. You should also plan ahead for drought periods that might come when it's not going to rain. Stock up on food and adapt your production to avoid bottlenecks. I'll show you a few more strategies later on. At the beginning, we don't have much scrap, wood, or other resources. We could build a production building, but to obtain resources as fast as possible, it's best that we start gathering right away. Assign a Gather All Resources task. All the settlers who haven't been assigned any profession by you are going to accept these kinds of tasks. In addition, settlers distribute resources within your settlement.
Okay, so that kind of answers my question. So, free settlers. So, do we just. Anyone who's just standing around here? Education, inventory, family. Confidence. Huh. Alright, so, place gather wood task. Gather wood. Let's gather some around here. Gather scrap. Yeah, there's plenty of scrap right there. And free seller available. Okay, so they'll just, anyone who's free will just start automatically gathering. That's good. You can see all the trees that are marked with the axe there. Dang, 2 cuts and the tree's gone. Settlers must be pretty dang strong. Got a group of supermen. Okay. Cool, cool. See your resources up there. Let's speed up a little bit.
Since we now own plenty of resources, we can start to build a real production building. Then you don't have to always make efforts by hand that collecting is taking place. Production buildings are not only easier to manage, they are also distinctly more effective than simple tasks. Don't place production buildings too far away from your settlement. You'll be able to change their working area at any time later on.
Alright.
Right on. The best thing for us to do now is to build a forester's lodge to automate our supply of wood and make it more effective at the same time. Foresters are not only able to chop down trees, they reforest areas with trees as well.
Nice. Alright, let's build that then. Forester's Lodge. Let's see. I'd say that's... Ooh. Maybe we should... Forester's Lodge. Yeah. Maybe I should get rid of that one. Nah. I think we'll be fine. I'll get that. Okay. Looks like the crops are all planted now. Boars. You gotta be careful for wild boars. Things can be aggressive at times. Okay, looks like we don't have anyone assigned here. Forester.
Good job. You might want to change this building's working area later on to tell your workers where they should get their wood from. Ah, and for your information, if you want, you can also tell your Forester's Lodge that they only ought to attend to reforesting an area in order to create a lush, green forest which generations to come can use. Very good. Now we ought to take care of collecting scrap. Scrap is one of the most valuable resources because the quantities present are limited, and we can recover other resources from scrap. Unlike the task we just had, the scrap yard allows larger quantities of existing scrap to be dismantled than with ruins or wrecks.
Alright. So, let's build our scrap yard. Yeah, that's good. It's a good spot, I think. Once I get unlock more buildings, I'll definitely have to reorganize everything and stuff, but I just want to get through this tutorial. I don't even know if we'll be able to play after we finish the basic stuff. I think they will. Oh. Scrap collector. Let's speed up time. Those stags kind of sound a little scary. What's this? Oncoming
Great.
drought.
You can change the working area for the scrapyard, too. We can recycle scrap into 4 additional resources: cloth, metal, plastic, and electronics. We'll do that shortly, but for now we ought to take care of your settlers' needs first.
Sounds
Our
good.
people want a place to sleep and live. Cabins fulfill their need for safety and privacy, and increase the confidence of their inhabitants. In other words, building cabins increases their willingness to start families and reproduce, if you know what I mean.
Yep. Alright then. Cabins it is. Let's see, where's our van? Right there. Let's, location attractiveness. Huh. So, let's just build some near our trailer here. Yeah. I think 3 ought to do. Oh, that's... Oh, 8. Needs me to build 8. Alright then. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Seven, 8. Let's just... I know this is completely uneven and stuff. I'm sorry. Don't worry about it though. I'll fix it later. Okay, so it looks like there's little alleyways they can walk through to get to the trailer.
Besides cabins, you can also provide sturdy houses and shelters as housing. Sturdy houses withstand sandstorms better and have an increased storage capacity to boot. Children living in houses gradually fill up the house's stockpiles. Settlers do not reproduce in a shelter because they lack privacy. Let's return from our excursion into housing and refocus on scrap. With the help of a recycler or refinery, scrap can be sorted into 4 different resources. A recycler always takes scrap apart, 1 resource at a time, while a refinery automatically produces all 4 resources. To start off, you should build a recycler and produce cloth.
Alright. Recycler resources. Where should we put this? Probably not near the housing area. I'd say we should probably put it near the scrap house here. Yeah. Looks like there's a drought here. Yeah. happiness. Contentness. Okay. Rich food. Okay, so yeah, these are all the different, got 0 children, 15 adults. So I guess most of the children that we saw earlier probably grew up. Oh, new children. Alright, that was fast. These settlers get busy real quick, I suppose. Cloth produced. Okay, just gotta wait for them to make more cloth, I suppose.
You can instruct your recycler to produce a different resource at a time. It's important that you focus on the resources you really need, at least in the beginning. Cloth and metal look like good options if you want to equip us with protective clothing and tools. Happy settlers are industrious settlers. That's why we ought to look after our people and protect them against the surroundings and dangers, like radiation. So let's start by transforming our newly recovered cloth into protective clothing. A tailor will be able to help us with that.
Okay. Terrestrial radiation. High. Okay. Low. So it looks like we're in a mostly radiation-free territory. So that's nice. Okay. Farmer Fisher. There we go, tailor shop. I think we'll build more crafting stations around here. A bit away from the resource gathering stations, but still close to the cabins. At least it makes sense to me. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Next scarf produced. Ah, there we go. And here we have there we go.
We categorize environmental radiation into 4 levels: no radiation, low level, medium level, and high level radiation. The radiation changes constantly and is influenced by weather and contaminated rain. Protective clothing helps to protect us against this kind of radiation, but it takes a while before it's produced. And production relies on a steady flow of incoming resources. Try to establish production chains at an early stage and start to stockpile goods so that some are always on hand.
Understood. Oh, whoops, didn't mean to skip that. Only a workshop. Okay, workshop next on the list. Recycler. What do we need, another one? Instruct others. Oh, okay, I see what Let's build that right next to the tailor shop. And then we'll switch that to metal. Workshop built. Assign professionals to refiner. Technician. I don't know if we have enough settlers at the moment. Let's see. Probably don't need that many foresters. We can get rid of one for now. Wait, no. It says one technician. Okay. So assign sellers to profession refiner. It says so I suppose they want me to build 2 recyclers then, just to be able to produce both metal and cloth. That makes sense. Unattractive. It's probably because of the noise coming from the workshops here. Crafting stations, whatever you want to call it. Or it could be the big tree in front of their place. Like, that could also be it. Yeah. So, let's assign... What? There we go. Shouldn't be too long till the new recycler is built. There we go. Metal tool produced. That's for scrap tool, metal tool. Currently in production. Okay, there's one. Samuel. Is that his health? Or...
With our lovely new tools, we are now prepared to work effectively. Should you ever run out of metal, keep in mind that you can also instruct your workshop to manufacture tools from scrap instead of metal. Though they won't be quite as effective, it's still better than being forced to work with bare hands.
Indeed.
Down in the Endzone, we had sufficient time and resources to educate ourselves properly. But our children don't have this luxury. We ought to build a school and pass on what we've learned. As a result, they will be able to survive and work better and more effectively.
Okay. School. So community probably, yeah. Could put it here near the other cabins, but looks like our population's growing a bit, so we might need to build more cabins there actually, instead of another school. So let's by the water. Might need to make more water supply things, so I think right there is fine. We can always move it later. And assign a teacher. Very good. What's this? Homeless settlers. Yeah, let's...
Perfect. Besides the fact that educated children work more effectively, we'll also teach them to be more careful with their protective clothing and tools. This, in turn, leads to them staying intact longer, and we conserve valuable resources. Now that our population is starting to grow, we ought to again turn our attention to the topic of food production. We are already accumulating fish and tilling our fields. A gatherer's cabin will now enable us to gather mushrooms and berries from the forest nearby.
Alright, gatherer's cabin. Put it next to our forester's cabin. That way, when the trees are replenished, we should be able to start picking, or the gatherers will have stuff to pick again. Maybe. Gatherer 27. Yeah, population's going up quite fast. So you can see who's living there. And there's demolish option. Power grid. Wonder when we'll be able to unlock that stuff. Here's our school. Actually looks kind of cool. Probably not very safe though.
Very good. As you can see, the gatherer's cabin is an effective possibility to get food quickly. But watch out. After a drought, it's going to take some time before the plants have regrown. As is the case with most buildings, here too, you can relocate the working area at any time. Although we are sufficiently supplied at the moment, our survival depends on diligent planning. If we can lay out a plan for an orchard, then we can start to plant fruit or nut trees that we can harvest after a few seasons.
Okay, an orchard. It's quite ambitious. There's already plenty of trees around here. Could put it out here. It's kind of far away, but yeah, I think that'll be fine. Maybe. Yeah, you can see the little mushrooms around here. That's cool. Choose seed. Plums. There we go. Cut down trees, harvest now. Okay. Assign farmers.
The orchard has been laid out, and the trees are already beginning to grow. Similar to crops for farming, trees need some time until they are fully grown. But once they have grown, they can be harvested again and again until they have to be newly planted. Our gatherer's cabin gathers food from the surrounding forests. However, there are any number of other plants there which we can use as well.
Okay. So, herbal hut. I wonder if it's like a different gathering thing or it shares things with the gatherer's hut. I don't think it does, so I think we'll be fine if we place it there. Yeah. Now let's get an herbalist. Looks like we got a pretty good start so far. Usually I don't like playing tutorials, but I think I'd be a little bit lost otherwise. In this game in particular. Kind of losing track of time. I wonder how long I've been playing this. Probably like 30 minutes or so. Storage capacity's running out. So I wonder if there's any storage facilities we can build at the moment, or we have to wait. Food station.
Well done. We can equally utilize the gathered herbs to convert them into medicine later on. It might happen that an illness breaks out in our settlement from time to time and spreads among our settlers. That's why we always ought to have enough herbs on hand. Radiation is the main reason why the health status of our settlement can decrease. Although our settlers already use protective clothing to shield themselves against environmental radiation, it might occur that our sources of water become contaminated. We should start to filter our water to prevent this from happening.
Okay. Water. There we go, charcoal. Can we just put this anywhere, or... I guess so. Put it next to our water storage. Charcoal burner. Be an interesting job. Just burning charcoal is your life's work. Okay. Looks like it's completed in production. Coal.
Great. We can use the charcoal in conjunction with a filtration system to purify our water. Unfortunately, our cistern is not able to do this. Only the water tower has the necessary equipment for this capability. It would be a disgrace if we had to demolish our trusted cistern just to erect a water tower in its place. What we ought to do instead is upgrade the cistern itself. A water tower can store much more water.
Okay. Upgrade. Build next. Cancel. Okay. And... oh, I guess they want us to build another recycler. So, is this in the process of upgrading, I suppose? Upgrade process, okay. So I guess when these fill up, it'll upgrade to the next part. That's what I'm guessing. Sounds good. And let's get another refiner. Do like looking at the different buildings. Can we assign another builder? Yeah. It's signed a couple more. Just want to get these buildings up and running and out of the way. Okay, so we need it to produce plastic. That's what we need the third one for. Plastic, metal, cloth, good. Looks like our crops are being harvested. Oh, we need more water carriers. Okay.
Our new water tower is up and ready for action. Good work. Filtering the water is an important next step because clean drinking water is a key mainstay of any stable society. Let's begin with filtering our water. To save on charcoal, we ought to ensure that at least a little bit of water not contaminated by radiation is being stored in our water tower.
Okay, well built. Let's build it right there. Activate the filter on your water tower. Active. Instruct a tailor shop to produce activated carbon mask. Okay. Yeah. Let's speed things up. Well, sorry guys, I did not expect for this tutorial to take that long, but I think I'm gonna have to take a break here for now.
With this step, we have ensured the survival of the settlement for a while. Very good work. Since more and more children are being born these days, we should start to plan for the long term. While cabins are...
Alright, looks like building shelters next. But anyway, as I was saying, I'm gonna have to take a break here, but yeah, this is Endzone. It's currently on Steam right now. I forget the price, but hey, if you guys seem interested or you want to check it out, that's where you'll find it. And yeah, it's pretty fun so far, pretty entertaining. I like watching it, the whole cycle, the whole community go through and do their jobs and things and all the different buildings. Very entertaining. And yeah, I think I might play through this a bit more, but we'll see. Let me know if you guys like this or you want to see more of this on the channel. And that's it. Deathslinger out.